How's it going, everyone? Jiivita here with the beginning of the new Quick Start series. These are going to be bite-sized videos showing you how to progress through the game and get started as quickly and briefly as possible. So chances are you're probably already past this stage, but here's the character creation. You can choose a head, change body type, size, body tint, and if you're a Gleam Club member, you can even pick advanced colors, which allows me to have both this kind of fuchsia color, or well, it's called deep fuchsia, but it looks kind of orangey to me, and this undertone right here, the mid-tone. So you can have a high, mid, and low tint, all three different colors. Normally you would pick your body tint here and it would all be the same color, and it would have the appropriate high and low tints to go with that. Of course, pick a name and then click accept. Next, you have an option to import or not import your Steam friends. So if you already have Steam friends, then you could import those and even have the option to maybe start next to them. So let's go ahead and import Steam friends. 132 Steam friends added. Very nice. And yeah, so now we have an option to either find a starter world or start near a friend. So let's go ahead and just find a starter world. It's going to ask you to pick what region you'd like to start in. It's going to recommend the region it least thinks is closest to you. So we can go ahead and go with USA East, but you could certainly pick a different one if you wanted to. And then you can pick either a tranquil or hostile world. There's not a whole lot of difference between these two worlds other than the spitters on the hostile worlds will be hostile towards you, whereas on the tranquil world, the spitters will basically ignore you until you pick a fight with them. So I like a little bit of excitement, so I'm going to go with hostile world. So these first few moments of the game, you're going to want to be pretty glued to this top left corner right here, as it's going to guide you through the basic steps of the game. Let's walk up here and you'll pick up both this totem and the warp augment. It's going to direct you to open up your inventory and pick up the totem, place it there, pick up the warp augment, and place it on top of the totem. It's good to remember this process because this is one of the ways you can travel to a new world after you've started, is to craft a warp augment, place it into a totem, and just like what we're getting ready to do right here, shoot the planet. So at this point you can see that the totem is pointing kind of like a laser pointer, and we're literally going to shoot the planet. As you can see, if you just click, nothing really happens. We have to click and hold to actually pick a location. So, and as you can see down below, there is the coordinates right there. So if you are trying to meet up with a friend and for some reason you didn't choose to just start right next to them, or if you're trying to get to your base, say you've created an alt and you're trying to get your alt to your base, you can use these coordinates to get at least close, if not right on top of. So let's see here. Let's go ahead. This looks interesting right here. And there we go. We now have a landing site. And now we can come over here and go over to locations and pick the landing site we just made. If you're starting near a friend, you can of course use the friend section, and picking the location on the planet is more or less a formality. Go ahead and hit the blocks to open them up, and now you are in the game world. Quite nice. If you're starting on a hostile planet, you want to be wary of these little guys right here. These are spitters, and the word in front of them denotes kind of how strong they are. So if it's just spitter, they'll be fairly weak and you can probably handle them with just your totem. However, if they say stout, and especially if they have extra buffs on them, you'll want to probably give them a wide berth. Here's the other creature you'll encounter on the Homeworld. These are wild stock. They are neutral by default until you either hit them directly or if a weapon hits the ground near them. They use charging melee attacks, so dodging side to side can be fairly effective. However, they will do a series of charges with changes in directions in between, so they can be a little bit tricky at first until you get used to them. Depending on how much running around you've had to do, you might be needing a little bit of food, so these desert swords can be an excellent source of food in the beginning. They give you valuable resources that you'll need later, as well as food to eat. So these raw earth yams can be found right here. You can also get starberries from breaking leaves. A few additional notes on food is that this energy bar down below, as you get hungry, it will start to get smaller and smaller. If it gets too small, you will start to starve, which will be about like 10% of the bar, which will give you damage over time. However, all you need to do is find some basic food. As long as it's not raw meat, it will fill up your stamina bar without giving you a sick debuff. Once your stamina bar is full, you get this little buff right here, which is the full up buff, which will give you natural health regeneration over time. So if you take a little bit of damage from, say, a wild stock or a spitter, just eat a little bit of food to get this full up buff back if you don't have it, and you will slowly regenerate your health. Okay, I think that concludes the first episode of this Quick Start series. Chances are you've probably already made it this far, but for thoroughness, I wanted to include this information. So yeah, can't wait to see you in the next episode. Anyway, this was Jiivita. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and if there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down below. Also, if you like my channel, want to get cool perks, check out my Patreon page. Until next time, peace.